It's raining. So I'm creating this video because I don't like talking to people, and this is a lot easier for me. My topic is feminism. Okay, first of all, let's start off with the history behind actual feminism. Feminism is the abolition of sexism and equality for every gender. And although feminism is usually connotated with negative meanings, a lot of people are feminists and they don't even know it. First generation feminists were back in the 1920s. They earned their freedom through the right to vote, followed by the second generation feminists, which were in the 60s and 70s, also known as the bra burners. These feminists won equality in the workplace. Which brings us to our third generation feminists, who played on the freedom of sex positivity or the freedom of being a sexual human being, cultural awareness, and feeding into the uprising of media influence. Which brings us to the fourth generation feminists, or the modern feminists, who focus on women in advertising, the constant unequal treatment of women in the workplace, as well as the freedom to decide how to live their lives by themselves. Now we'll get to feminism. Feminism is the idea that you should not have to emulate a man to attain his success. You are a woman and you're proud of it. And you don't mind dressing femininely with, makeup and dresses and high heels and doing your hair and all that stuff. It just means that you are empowering your femininity as a woman, as a nurturing being, and that you should be respected for that, not told that you're not the equivalent of a man because you don't dress the same as a man. People get hung up on the appearance of women more than they do on men. This is important because it is a huge part of everyone's everyday lives. I know that especially in my life, when I am in a work environment, I receive a lot less respect than the men do because I do openly express myself as a feminine person. Even though I am an extreme feminist, people just don't associate me with that because I look so feminine. I'm automatically dismissed and told that I'm stupid and incapable of doing things just because of the way I look, and I think that's a little bit ridiculous. And I'm sure there are instances of that happening everywhere. I can't be the only one. Also, it's a huge issue because youth are being sent so many mixed messages about how they are supposed to be women, when being a woman is simply just being yourself, being who you are. And the messages, especially portrayed by media, are telling young girls that you need to look this certain way in order to earn respect from men, which is false. Although I do look very feminine, I still don't accept any less respect than I deserve. This is a huge part of my life, a massive part of my culture, being raised as a feminist, but also being raised to be empowered as a feminine woman. This ties into Susan Douglas's essay from the They Say I Say book that we went over in class about how media bombards women with all of these images of false perfection that are unattainable and impossible to achieve. We spend so much of our time trying to look a certain way that we feel guilty about it. We feel guilty about wanting to feel beautiful because on one hand we're being told that the only way we're going to be successful is if we look beautiful, and on the other hand we're told that we are conforming to society's stereotypical norms of femininity if we do look beautiful. I think that there should be a middle ground in there where we get to be beautiful and successful. Why can't we have both? My point is women should just have the choice, and I think that's the issue Susan Douglas was trying to get to, is that we shouldn't have to feel like we need to be a certain way. We should just be. This ties into sort of the entire motto behind WALL-E. WALL-E opened the eyes of the people on the Axiom to show them the world around them. That's what I want to do. I want you guys to realize that women can be beautiful and they can be smart, believe it or not. I feel that this is an issue that most people don't realize is going on. The same with every other feminist issue. Women's issues they should be probably one of the topmost priorities, but they keep getting pushed aside because we are not people. We don't have the ability to make our own choices. We can't be who we want to be. And I think that's a huge problem. So I want to be the WALL-E of the world and open people's eyes to what's going on if they are not already aware of it. One of the biggest issues of living as a feminine feminist is that you get flack from both sides about how you're living your life. On one hand, you have the feminists who are telling you that you're counteracting everything second generation feminists fought for, which was equal rights in the workplace. And on the other hand, you have men telling you that you're not worth anything because all you are is a pretty face. It makes it extremely difficult to explain my reasoning to people of why I live the way that I live. Why do I preach feminism so adamantly at the same time I embody the feminine figure that has been stereotypically portrayed throughout history? How can I possibly be a feminist and still look like a woman? Honestly, it's really not that hard because it is not another person's place as a human being to judge someone else on how feminist or not feminist they are. Telling someone that they are not a feminist because they look like a woman is ridiculous. My point is, it's not anyone else's place to tell you how feminist you are or how to live your life. I have the choice to look feminine and still hold on to my ideals and beliefs in feminism and in equality and in the removal of sexism everywhere. I have a brain, I have my own thoughts, I am capable of generating my own beliefs and ways of life, and I should have the right to do that. It is my right as a human with a soul to be able to do that, whether I look like an extremely feminine female or a masculine male. I have the right to live the way I want to. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please don't ask me because I don't like talking in front of people.